What's going on, Buckeye Nation, Buckeye fan, and welcome on in, and honestly, welcome in all fan bases to the first ever Buckeyes Battle Cry live call-in show. We hope to hear from plenty of you tonight about your hottest takes on college football. Obviously, we want to set the guidelines for how we kind of want this thing to go. You know, we don't curse on the channel ourselves, so we appreciate you not cursing and keeping that language to a minimum, if not completely. Yeah, just not in the normal things of or your conversation. And yeah, we want to talk college football on this show. We want this to be a platform for college football nation, the college football fans, the subscribers we built up to call in and talk about anything that's on their mind in college football. We're probably going to start out by talking about some Ohio State Michigan topics. One in particular, I know Rob is pretty passionate about. As we as if you go on any forum on online, you see this topic still being brought up these 8.5 years later. 2016 Ohio State Michigan, the spot. Was he short? Was he not short? JT got it, or was JT short?
I mean, like, and you know what? I'm gonna drop the link just in case anybody wants to join in.
Yeah, drop the link down below. Hopefully, we can get some people coming in. Hopefully, that's a clickable, workable link too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know, but
it's not. So they'll have to copy and paste it.
copy and paste and go for it there. I got you.
Yeah. So man, for the I'm getting so sick and tired about that hearing about the 2016. The game. There was a lot of chatter. Oh, JT was short. Oh, okay, no, he wasn't short. And then just like, okay, like should have even gotten to that. Because last time I checked, Urban Meyer and company did everything to lose that game, dude. I mean, I was floored to see him. Remember when he did a fake punt in his own, like, what, 10-20 yard? Like, oh, I'm gonna get them. They're gonna fall for this. And just like, no, didn't even come close. And just like,
it was freaking there though. It was freaking there. If we just gotten the block on it, we didn't get the block. Didn't get the
and
freaking
then
block.
Spate, he threw a pick six. He threw another interception. I mean, Durbin missed those two kicks, but hit the most critical kick at the end to put in overtime. And then here's what Michigan fans just don't want to remember about this game. It was before, the 4th and 1, the infamous spot. It was 3rd and 8. And so I'm going to pull up this play so, we can watch. You can see, Curtis Samuel work his magic here.
Yeah. So let's all relive what was 3rd and 9 leading up to the biggest play in Ohio State Michigan history.
To Samuel.
JT Barrett slings out to Curtis. Cut back number one.
Look at that, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have him dead to rights.
He's done. He's done. But then
got
he cuts
him dead to
the
rights right
completely.
Here. Look
cuts
at that.
It back a second time.
Look at that.
Runs into his own lineman. And then he goes and gets 8.
Still alive.
Now, I don't see one hold there. Not one.
I don't see a single one.
Hold at all. No block the backs. I see a really talented skill player. Wasn't the dude from Brooklyn?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Dagger.
Yep, the Brooklyn. That play wasn't the Brooklyn Dagger.
No.
So it's like Michigan did everything to lose this game rather than Ohio State won that game. Because if you look at it, Michigan had it in the bag. All they had to do was, because let's be honest, man, that play crumbled really quickly. That looked like it was about to go nowhere, and it was about to be what, like 4th and 10.
I was panicking several times on that play. I said, "This game's over if we get stopped short, more than 5 yards short of the first down. We're gonna miss another field goal. Is what we're gonna do."
But
my heart was going crazy on that play.
Yeah, that's just Don Brown's defense not being put in the right place in order to succeed. And we've seen that year in and year out, Don Brown's defense. It's just like it didn't really come to fruition at all. A blitz happy, just all I remember is the defense. A lot of their players were looking at the back of Ohio State jerseys. That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, I just golly, man. I remember just my throat going in my stomach in that one. Like it was just a heart-wrenching moment, man. And they got it down to 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. And then of course they made the read option, which Urban loved his read option on 4th and short and 3rd and shorts. And it almost always worked. That time it barely freaking worked.
Yeah. I mean, like, imagine what that could have done for Michigan in recruiting and just like,
oh yeah, winning Harbaugh's second year in the shoe.
Yeah, winning Harbaugh's second year in the shoe. I mean, they got a pretty killer recruiting class. That cycle, anyways. So it's kind of like, and here's the thing, man. They make the playoffs.
Yeah,
his second year there.
They would have
with a chance. Actually, no, they make the Big Ten championship.
Well, yeah, with a chance to right.
That was the big thing, because the big thing for Jim Harbaugh was beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten. Those were the first 2 steps that led to the bigger picture. Eventually, so it's just like that really did them, because I remember after that, it's just like they didn't really come close. They didn't come close again until they finally won in 2021.
True that.
So
no.
Yeah.
It would have expedited and speeded up a lot of things had the Wolverines taken that contest from us, man. Can you imagine had Michigan won that game and what that would have meant for the trajectory of the program? How much quicker they would have gotten to the mountaintop? My goodness.
And here's the other thing. It was so bittersweet, like watching, Harbaugh in the press conference, the post-game press conference, complain about the refs, because we've all seen him cry like a big baby on the sideline, complain about the refs over, even in the NFL. I'm pretty sure he did it in the Super Bowl against his brother, John Harbaugh. So, just nothing new from him. And that's like one of the really big reasons why I was just like, I was so happy that that Ohio State won. And the other thing, man, there was too much hype behind Jabril Peppers that year, and all I remember seeing him is chasing Ohio State players into the end zone.
Multiple times for sure, man. Yeah. We definitely got to turn the tide back to our favor, though, man. I'm sick of losing these boys.
So,
and now we got to play them up in Ann Arbor here in 2025. I don't foresee that being an easy contest, even if they do have a true freshman quarterback. I see that being a tough contest as well, a tough win. Even, I have Michigan probably coming in a game at probably most likely 10-1, to be honest. Not because they're that good, but because the schedule sets up so nicely for the Wolverines this season. Yeah, why don't you put in the chat, click on the link, and that becomes a clickable link or something like that too, just so people, when they come in here, they know.
I don't I can't even click on the link.
No, but just put in the chat, copy and paste that link and call in the show or something like that. Yeah, it's gonna be a tall task this year. We had Cliff and Mac on earlier. In the off season, about a couple weeks back now, and I foresee it being a tough matchup, man. I know you're going to Ohio State, Penn State, which is probably going to be a top 5 battle, at least. I'm jealous that you're going to that game. I love that tradition you got with your wife. That's an awesome tradition you got.
Yeah, definitely.
We're to the biggest venues.
Yeah,
I'd love to see a game at Happy Valley sometime.
Dude, Jim Knowles' homecoming, man. That's gonna be pay-per-view worthy, dude.
There's gonna be a lot of hype surrounding the matchup, man, because he knows our offense well, even though we've got a different coordinator now this year. And obviously we know his defense through and through. And so the chess match is gonna be huge. There's gonna be a lot of animosity when he comes back in the shoe. we always boo the away teams, but they're going to get an extra bit of fervor and zeal when the Penn State Nittany Lions come out their locker room in the horseshoe coming up here in 2025, halfway through the season.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking, and the link is clickable. So
it is okay. Good deal.
Click it to call it. Yeah.
All right then. Good deal. Good deal. Well,
let me. Oh wait. Whoops.
Yeah, delete that if you can. Then I guess. But yeah, Ohio State, Penn State this year. My goodness, that's gonna be a fun contest. I'm curious about your thoughts on Ohio State versus Texas. Like, I know you kind of spoiled what you think how that matchup might go for the Ohio State Buckeyes in the season opener, but it is in the horseshoe. Admittedly, we don't play very well versus non-conference opponents in the horseshoe. But what do you think about Ohio State's chances in that season opener with Arch Manning getting his first career start?
Man, I'm nervous about it, dude. We have a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, replacing a good amount of the defense.
A lot of starters.
A lot of starters. I mean, and just like beginning of the first game of the year, the very first game of the year, that is brutal. There's no time to get the kinks out. There's no time to, see what you need to adjust. Maybe you need to shuffle the offensive line around a bit. Maybe you need to get more used to Patricia's system. But no, they get to break that baby in with against Texas, who's I predict more than likely going to be better this year than last year, and that's saying a lot because this is a team that has gone to the semifinals twice. I think Arch Manning is going to be a 10 times better quarterback.
You got to elevate the program, you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to elevate the program, but even though you can't really, I mean, he's played FCS. He's only played FCS teams. You go look at the stats. You go look at the teams he played. It's only against FCS, so it's kind of like that's hard to be able to say, hey, he's going to take this program to the next step. But just from what I've seen, I think there's a big chance that he does. I mean, he's more mobile in the pocket than Ewers, and that was Ewers' problem. He wasn't that mobile. He couldn't get out of those situations. It's kind of like, oh, they got me dead to rights. I'm gonna tuck the ball in. I'm just gonna take this sack. Rather than Ewers, rather than Manning, he's able to extend the play. Notice how they brought him in for running packages only. They trust him with his feet as well.
Yeah,
so
he's a lot more agile and mobile.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what type of defense we see in terms of what Matt Patricia is gonna bring, especially again against Texas. So I'm gonna be honest, man. It's a good thing that they're playing them first game. The only reason I say that is because we get to see what this Ohio State team is made of. Now, if they lose by a smidge with all the new staff, the new players, I like how the year's gonna go. That's just my opinion, but man,
it'll set the tone, man.
It will definitely set the tone. So if they win, that's a bonus. But if they keep it close, it's kind of like, okay, like we gotta look at the film, we gotta get the kinks out, and it's pretty much a 2-game schedule from there, maybe a 3-game, depending on Illinois. So
yeah, Illinois. That's an interesting matchup as well. I think to discuss perhaps later on, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a big one because the good thing I think, man, is we get them in Columbus. And they don't get to work the kinks out versus other teams, like Manning and this offense and figuring things out. They have to do it against one of the best defenses, hopefully, in the nation, and one of the best teams in the country. And so, these first game matchups, they can go so many ways because it's the very first contest of the season. And not everybody's had the opportunity to see what works, see what doesn't work in terms of scheme. I don't know what kind of defense Matt Patricia's bringing in. I don't know if we're sticking with the 4-2-5. I don't know if we're going back to a 4-3. I highly doubt it. But I mean, like, it's just interesting to see. I haven't seen too much write-ups on what Patricia's going to bring as a defensive coordinator and how he's going to change some things. But yeah, Arch Manning, his first start, gets to go up against 105,000 in the horseshoe. It's not going to be an easy task for him. But if they beat us, man, I tell you what, I wouldn't have a lot of confidence going back down to Austin the following year and beating the Longhorns in a matchup in that instance in Austin, Texas, to Texas Memorial Stadium. That'd be insanely tough. But yeah, man, it does really set the tone for the season, and hopefully the Buckeyes will come out victorious in that one. But I don't know, man. I mean, obviously there's a lot of reading up to do on the Longhorns, what they're going to bring to the table with Arch Manning in offense, how they're going to change some things offensively, and then we'll get to see how the Buckeyes defensive scheme comes together throughout the offseason and the spring game and all that.
Yeah, here's the thing with Matt Patricia. It was a high risk, high reward. The high risk is, this is just one bad experiment. He just can't adjust to college football, and it's a big pain all year, all season. Or the high reward is it's a match made in heaven. It works out from beginning to end. Or maybe, it's still a good reward because, let's say that Texas game, that's the growing pain, make the adjustments, and then, hit the ground running from there. So I'm interested, man, because just like Patricia, he's never dealt with college ball. He's never,
the
recruiting, like how you deal with. Well, I can't really say how you deal with grown men making lots of money because that's pretty much college football right now. But
it is college football now.
But it's the age. Like, how do you deal with these kids this age as to how you deal with bunch of grown men in the pros, man. And just that's really gonna set the tone for recruiting, because what I heard from Philly fans, or we're Lions, like, I don't know if you're a Lions fan, but I'm a Lions fan. I just heard that he didn't know how to talk to players.
He doesn't seem very personable, I'll tell you that much. He doesn't seem like he's the buddy type personal, players coach. He seems like rough and tough, old school mentality, grind it out, yell at you a lot. I'll be honest. I'm obviously willing to give it a chance, but I don't think it's going to be an asset in the recruiting game for Ohio State. I really don't think so at all. Matt Patricia just doesn't impress me as someone that can connect with people, and that's troublesome to me. And
here's what I'm thinking about how they got him on board with this. Dave's probably like, okay, man, you don't want to recruit. That's fine. We'll have, Laurinaitis and Walden, because, they're our main recruiters on the defensive side of the ball anyways. You just have to go there, give a presentation on your scheme, tell them what the role is going to be. We'll have Walden and Laurinaitis be the closers. So
yeah, I think that's how it's going to have to be, because I just don't see him being as a great asset on the recruiting trail.
Yeah.
Now, I am confident in his defensive mind capabilities and where his mind is at defensively. I'm very confident in his abilities in the scheme that he's going to bring to Columbus, but we'll see how he relates to players, man. In all honesty, I'm hoping this is a short stint. I'm hoping he's not here for too long, like a year or two. Like, maybe it'll be a 1-year rental like Jeff Hafley was for us, and we'll find somebody else and he'll get back to the NFL. He'll rebuild his image. We'll have to hire another defensive coordinator in another year. But at the same time, in saying that sounds troublesome, because why didn't we just go after somebody who's going to be more of a long-term fit, anyway? So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I'm not overly bullish on the hire. I think our offensive coordinator hire is a better move. I think Brian Hartline's seasoned and ready for that move and ready for that position. But in terms of defensively and our defensive coordinator position, I'm not exactly too encouraged by that hire. that we made just about a week and a half ago now.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, man. It seems like Day just makes these hires at like a big position where they don't like to recruit. I mean, Fry didn't like to recruit. I heard Knowles wasn't that good of a closer either. I mean, he was the reason why they
Yep.
swung and missed on Dylan Stewart.
That is what we kept hearing, especially on that particular recruit. Yeah, for sure. Now that is interesting. These kind of old, out of touch guys. Maybe like you mentioned, man, let these position coaches really, swoon them and bring them in and give them the high star recruitment treatment that they deserve, and finish the deal in recruiting, because I don't expect Patricia to be one that connects with players too well. So we'll see how that turns out. But defensive scheme wise, I mean, I am encouraged in that regard, and that, I guess, is, you can't say it's the most important thing, because you got to get the talented recruits to come to Columbus and then fit your scheme. You got to be able to get them to come there. But Ohio State, through the portal and through whatnot, we're going to be able to attract a lot of elite talent. So,
I mean, like you think, like, after Perry Eliano and him firing. I mean, let's be honest, dude. Ryan Day fired Perry Eliano because he couldn't recruit.
Straight up.
If he was still there, I kind of don't think we would have got a Caleb Downs. Do you think so?
Not likely. Not likely so.
No.
He was suspect back there for us. And I don't think he was that great of a coach either. Just teacher of the game, but in general. But that's kind of me.
And oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I think man, it's just like in college ball, you have to learn. Like, you have to love recruiting, man. You just can't show up with a bag of money, because for some, that's just not gonna fly.
There's certain families it's going to be the motivating factor. There's other families it's not going to mean much to them. Say, look, the money's going to come. I want to know what kind of opportunities are waiting for me in education. I want to know what kind of opportunities are waiting for me in terms of NIL investments and getting some brand deals. And the money's going to come, but what can you teach me on the football field? How can I get to the pro level by coming to Ohio State? And we need to be able to lay that out for them. So
yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see if we go back to the old ways of the edge rushers being implemented now that Knowles is gone. Like,
I hope so.
Is recruiting in that area going to pick up again? We get back to, like, the Joey Bosa's and the Chase Young and Hubbard, and who else was there?
Tyquan Lewis, he was pretty freaking good too, man. Yeah. Tyquan Lewis was pretty nice.
Don't want to talk about who's it? Zach Harrison. He was a bust, man.
Yeah.
Wait.
He had a couple good games, but that was about it.
Or was it Jim Knowles' defense, man?
He's still doing well in the league, though. I must admit, he's doing well in the league. I wouldn't say he's like explosive or anything, but he's still playing. He's still a starter out there, so he's at least athletic and talented enough to hang around this couple years later. So I think we will get back to some elite edges, and obviously, Sawyer and Tuiolomola will set the standard towards in the playoff run. I mean, it's like they unleashed the dogs or something. Like, they finally let them loose, and they were just causing the havoc back there. And I'm like, the frick has this been for 4 years?
Yeah, man.
Where has this been?
And here's the thing, man. We're gonna know. There's 2 games. We're gonna know who the problem was. The big eye test on if it was Knowles or Larry Johnson.
I don't have a question as who it was.
Is going to be when Oregon heads to Happy Valley, because we know that Oregon's still going to have that high flying offense that they probably better version of what they saw last season.
Yeah.
And then the other eye test is going to be against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because, man, like, if what we saw for 2.5 years, what we saw for about 2.5 years, leading up all the way to the playoffs, is Jim Knowles' fault. Penn State is known for their edge rushers. I mean, Chop Robinson, now Abdul Carter. They had Micah Parsons. And now just like, if that's the case, it was Jim Knowles that was actually, having the edges stay home and play the run. Then it's gonna be trouble for Penn State, man.
Well, I'm pretty excited that not excited that Jim Knowles has left. Obviously he was very good for us defensively at times in certain situations, but I don't see Penn State edge rushers being as dominant or as taking over games as they have been. I don't know who's next in line. I wish I knew that roster well enough, but yeah, I don't expect Penn State to continue in the tradition that they have the last 4, 5, 6 seasons, or even more than that, to be honest. But I'm pretty confident that Larry Johnson was not the issue at Ohio State. I mean,
yeah,
all these other defensive coordinators we got, and yet we were consistently wreaking havoc at the defensive end position. And in the 3 years that Knowles is here, we hardly get any production outside the playoff run. Yeah. And I feel confident in saying it was Jim Knowles, not Larry Johnson, but that's just kind of my particular side of my view of things, my analysis of things.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, man. Under Jim Knowles' defense, the first time around against Oregon, over close to 500 total yards were put up on Ohio State's defense. Now, if Oregon goes into Happy Valley and does that to Penn State's defense,
yeah,
then there it is. We'll know who the real problem was.
Oh goodness, man! Do you know what date that game is? Is that before we play Penn State?
Yeah,
it is before we play Penn State, isn't it?
I could pull that up right now.
I'm almost sure Oregon plays Penn State in Happy Valley before we do, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, they are September 27th.
Yo, we don't even have to wait till October for that game.
I know, man.
That's gonna be epic.
And this could go bad for them because that's a whole new system that this defense has to learn, and they got to play Oregon. I mean, it's a lot better than August 30th, man. Let's be honest, though. I'm just gonna have to say that.
Oh yeah, no question. No, do you remember how rough it was our first year in the Knowles? Like learning that new scheme, like it's a complex scheme to learn. Like it really is. It's not something that just comes easily to players, and so that could be very problematic for the Penn State and Indy Lions.
Nah, but well, you know what? They made him the highest paid coordinator and defensive coordinator in all of college football. It's yet to be seen who the problem was, but if I was a betting man, I'd say Jim Knowles' defense, his scheme in terms of, keeping the edges home, putting a linebacker spy on the quarterback, having the secondary just cover and not have any help from the edge. So
Jeez.
It should again that type of defense it stands against the Purdue's, the Nebraskas, the Northwesterns, the Michigan States. But when you're going up against the best of the best, I mean, even a slight offense with a slight pulse or even more of a pulse, that's just not going to hold, man. It's just not. You can't expect Tez Johnson, somebody to cover Tez Johnson for longer than 7 seconds.
Seriously though,
like he was expecting those dudes to cover like 20 seconds. Like, oh, okay, I don't have anybody. Quarterback. Okay, I don't have anybody to throw to. Let's start running. Okay, like they want to run. Okay, we have the edges staying home. All they got to do is shed their block, and there you go. And we have a linebacker playing a spy as well. And just like it didn't fly against the Michigans, the Georgias. And you know what, man, that Georgia game really pissed me off, dude. Like
we had them beaten, man. We had them against the ropes.
But here's the thing that pissed me off. Knowles was playing man coverage, and that was pretty much the worst secondary that I've seen since heck a year before. Do you remember Bryson Shaw? What that was that?
Yikes!
His name Bryson Shaw, dude, bro.
He was on that defense, and then he transferred to USC.
And then who was it? J.K. Johnson couldn't cover the broadside of a freaking barn.
Yep, Jalen Johnson. Yeah,
and then Cam Johnson.
Oh gosh, or Cam Martinez. Yeah,
Cam Martinez. No, there is also Cam Johnson. I mean,
you're right.
He was okay. And then there was remember Ronnie Hickman?
Oh wow, that's a name I had forgotten about. I'm not gonna front. I totally forgot all about Ronnie Hickman.
I mean, apparently he went to the he went to the Browns and got some playing time and stuff. So
okay, so respect and salute. I dig it.
But
man, that was a rough secondary, bro.
That was 2 years of a rough secondary. 2 years, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
I try to tell fans like, hey, these are not like, dude, you can't like look at the dudes who we have in the secondary. Besides Burke and Ransom, he was still developing. It was garbage, man. Look at 2023. We had the right guys back there. Hancock, Igbinosun. We had Burke, and we had who else was there? Shoot.
That's a pretty good. That's 3 of the 4 anyway. 3 of the 5, I should say.
3 of the 4, 3 of the 5. But man, it's just, oh yeah, dude. Remember when? Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even know why Knowles brought this dude with him. It was McAllister. Remember the coveted safety he brought with him from Oklahoma State. I'm just like, dude, send him back, man. This dude's garbage. Freaking Tanner McAllister. Dude.
Tanner McAllister. I was trying to think of his first name. I couldn't remember it. Yeah, he was supposed to teach everybody the defense, and he couldn't stay on the field.
Wait, that's what was said?
I mean, that's what I expected. I was like, all right, you bring in your secondary on a secondary-led defense, supposed to teach everybody the defense and be kind of that rock and that cornerstone for us to solidify in that first year, and then bro couldn't stay on the field himself.
Yeah.
It was a crying shame, man. It was a crying shame.
Yeah.
God, bad memories. I kind of want to go back and watch the Ohio State Georgia highlights just to see.
I don't.
I mean, we were so freaking close, dude. I'm gonna turn off before they kick the field goal, but
yeah. I mean,
we were up by 14 or 17 points on them. We had them beaten.
Then he got in that stupid man coverage. I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Remember when who's the dude that fell down?
It was Ransom.
That was Ransom who fell down?
That was Latham Ransom.
Oh, dude, no way. That could not have been Ransom.
A young Latham Ransom, yeah.
No, I'm not talking on that
about big touchdown play.
The wheel route, the fly route.
I remember a goal route where somebody fell over and they got a touchdown on.
That was the go route, man. That was Ransom, bro. Wow.
It was Latham. I might be mistaken, but that's who I always credited to. That's who I always remember slipping. And I don't hold it against him because that dude's a freaking stud for us now. He was a stud in this championship run. He was really good this year. And honestly, he was pretty good last year. He got a lot better, but a lot of Ohio State fans, I didn't forgive him for the slip. And, but he really improved last year. And then this past season, he was honestly, he was every bit as good as Caleb Downs. Maybe not quite to that level, but in my estimation, man, yeah, that dude filled holes, bro. He filled some holes. Are you looking it up to see if it was ransom or not?
Yeah, dude, I can't find it, man.
Oh, you can't see it. It was towards the
Oh,
end of the
man, I
game.
can't see it, man.
If I recall, I mean, it was one of the last touchdowns of the game for Georgia.
No, dude, that wasn't the we're not talking about that one. That was the one where Burke got burnt.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that last one that pretty much sealed the game, man.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that was Burke. Man,
Wow, I don't remember him messing up that badly. All
he
right,
was
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I'm gonna fact check you on that.
He's definitely not the dude who fell down. But all I'm saying is I don't think it was Ransom who fell down, dude.
I'm almost certain there was, but I'm gonna fact check you on it later
Alright,
tonight.
man.
I'll text you about it.
Yeah, definitely. But dude, it again, like I still think the future is bright in Columbus. I think that
Oh
because you
yeah,
know we have a lot of Michigan fans chirping, saying that
a lot.
we're gonna take this big step back. You know, this is really Michigan-esque. You know, they're gonna have a Michigan type. Like, we're not the same program.
That's what I'm
Just
trying
because
to explain to these fools.
just because they have 4 wins in a row over us does not mean we're the same program. Like,
No,
if you look at the
there's
down years
levels.
that Ohio State has had compared to the down years that Michigan has had, we're not the same program. 3
Mhm.
and you know what? They're like, "Well, you guys have a timeline." Just like, "No, I don't have a timeline. I'm not going to go all the way back to the freaking 30s, 40s and talk about college football, man." I mean, dude, like we're just recruiting wise, winning percentages, playoff appearances, national
Mhm.
championships recently.
Yep.
I mean, I know we both have won this decade, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about
man.
like since 2000. And that's not even saying, well, they like to have a timeline. No, dude, since 2000, dude, when did the BCS era start?
98 was the first year.
Yeah,
98.
man. So it's just like I'm not gonna go, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go anything before the 2000s because, in all honesty, I didn't start watching football till the like 2000 or so. So
2000,
I'd have
2001 was
to
my first
I'd
year.
have I'd have to go look that up. But what we're looking at right now says that we're not the same program because, I guarantee you, see, here's the thing, man. Michigan fans have been waiting for Ohio State's downfall. I mean,
Yeah.
they were probably like, oh my gosh, tattoo gate, baby. It's going down. This is it. Tressel's fired. They got a postseason ban, scholarships pulled, wins vacated. It's
Yeah.
it's all going down Columbus. And then just like their hearts freaking sunk when Ohio State got Urban Meyer. And just like it's just like, man, we're if we could survive a scandal where possibly one of the best coaches who elevated Ohio State, who brought the winning tradition back against Michigan and so
Mhm.
on, gets fired, and then we come out better because Urban Meyer elevated even more. We're not having a down year that they think we're having. Yeah, you know what? We could have 2 losses going into the playoffs. I'm not gonna be like Michigan fans coming off a national
Possible.
championship team saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win the Natty this year." Alex Orgy is the man.
Gracious.
Look at
Or
all
just Cam Newton 2.0.
yeah, look at all the staff who got developed under Harbaugh and them. They're gonna be great. It's like, no, dude. Like the only difference is the head man is still there. Ryan Day is still
Yep.
there. So it's just
Yep.
like,
The architect of it all.
I mean, man,
I'm with you.
since 2000. I mean, no, not since since the first down year that Ohio State has had in a while was
Mhm.
2011
Yep.
when Luke Fickell was the interim coach. What did they finish, like 6-6?
6-6 regular season with a bowl loss to some Florida, I think it was.
Oh man. But man, I know they lost to Michigan that year, but what really made the season for me was that win against Wisconsin.
Yeah, the Hail Mary to Devin Smith in the back of the end zone.
Yep. Hail
Can you
Mary
imagine having been at that game? That would have been so sick. Goodness, how loud that must have been in that stadium right there in that moment.
But yeah, I mean, like recruiting and just like the overall the boosters care way too much to let this program go. Haven't you noticed
clearly,
that 3 consecutive coaches that Ohio State has had, they've all won a natty?
Yep.
You can't make that up. You can't.
It's been interesting, man, because even the coaches that have won national championships at other programs always fall off. It seems like Les Miles fell off and then he got fired. LSU specifically, another one, Ed Ordron, won a title, fell off, slipped off, got fired. Like these coaches can't sustain it like you can in Columbus. The Buckeyes continually win. They continually get those victories stacked on top of one another, and they continue to win national championships. And whenever Ryan Day decides to leave, or whatever the case may be for him leaving Columbus, more than likely, the next coach is going to win a national championship also.
And just like that, that's never happened at Michigan. I don't think it has. Ever. But
Yep.
I don't want to talk about the Bo Woody days. I mean, yeah, like I like to talk about recently.
Yeah.
Like in what recently is Ohio State has had 3 different head coaches who have won national championships. Now, can Ryan Day be the first coach since what, Woody?
To win multiple, yeah.
Win multiple.
Nobody else has won multiple at Ohio State besides Woody Hayes.
Here's the interesting thing about that, man. I've noticed like Tressel and Meyer have 2 things in common. They came in and just had instant success.
Mm-hmm.
Like they won a national championship either their second or third year as the head coach, and then they didn't come close again.
Well, Tressel did. I mean, he got to the title games.
He didn't recruit well enough to be able to compete with the SEC. I mean, they got blown out against Florida, and then I guess it was close against LSU, but
closer, but still a 14-point win for the Tigers.
Yeah, man. So it was kind of like, okay. And everyone say, "Oh, I'm tired of seeing Tressel ball."
I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in this take, but I think 2018 Ohio State was good enough to win a national title too. I don't know what the frick happened at Purdue in the game I attended, but like had they gotten a shot in the playoffs, I think that team was capable of winning a 14 playoff. I truly do.
That's the thing with Urban, man. He was becoming a distraction, bro. Like I'm sorry, man, but that again, like he came into Ohio State, had good success, won a national championship, his 3rd year at the helm.
His 3rd season, yeah.
And then just like he started losing teams that he shouldn't. I mean, heck, even before that, I mean, lost to Virginia Tech. Wasn't that at home?
Mm-hmm. Another home loss to an out-of-conference opponent.
And then, dude, lost to. I'm sorry, man. I was at that Michigan State game. They had absolutely no business.
Not with a backup quarterback.
No, dude. Like it was embarrassing, dude. Zeke not getting the ball the second half. Man, I was.
Yeah, there's no reason for that game.
Matt
pissed me off.
Dude, Matt.
South?
Matt South and I. We were living, man. We were just like, what is going on? Then having to sit there, literally, the field goal post is right here. We're literally right here. Had to watch that go in, man. That was rough, bro. And
watch
then just
the
like
windmill.
And then just like, okay, there's Ohio State had no business losing that game. And then 2016, I mean, I guess Ohio State had no. I mean, that was a good Penn State team, though, dude. But
It was a good, darn good. Yeah, it was.
yeah. Who hit their stride at the right moment, and that was
Sure.
that was the beginning of them. Then
2017 was Iowa.
but I mean, it sucked getting smoked at home against Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it was just like, okay, like there's all you gotta do is win out, and there's still a chance to get in the playoffs. But no, dude, getting smoked against Iowa, bro.
55 to an Iowa offense, bro.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, dude.
There's no words for that. Iowa didn't score 55 points on anyone, especially not Ohio State,
didn't
dude.
JT throw like a pick 6 or 2?
He threw a pick 6. I think he threw 2 of them, actually. Yeah.
And dude, like in 2016, man, we had no business being in the playoffs. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, we got blanked by Clemson.
I kind of wish they didn't even go, dude. I wish Penn State would have took their place. If we're being honest.
Yeah, but they had that loss to Pitt though, and so they had 2 losses, and up to that point, no 2-loss team had ever made the playoffs. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh yeah, I forgot they lost to Pitt, man, and they had a loss.
Yeah, they lost to Pitt that year,
and they lost to Michigan as well. So
and they lost to Michigan.
Yeah,
49-10, they lost to Michigan.
Yeah. And then, like, dude, then 2018, man, just I don't even know what happened. I'm turned. It's kind of like those, like, okay, like this can't happen. They're bound to score here. They're in the red zone. This is where they are like, okay, Purdue, we let you play close enough. It's time to take over. And it's like it never happened. I don't know.
All those non-scores for Ohio State were right in the end zone that Matt and South and I were in, and all those touchdowns by Purdue were right in the end zone that we were in also.
Freaking Rondell Moore, man.
Rondell Moore. He's not even doing anything in the league, is he? Or is he?
I think he's with the Cardinals.
He's with Arizona. He is with Arizona.
Yeah.
Good memory. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, he's still in the league, so good for him.
Yeah,
here's the thing with Urban. I think a lot of teams, a lot of defenses have started to figure out the Urban Meyer spread, man. Like, we were still putting points up on cupcakes, bro. Inflating our season stats and inflating our egos a bit. But against these stiffer defenses, man, for whatever reason, we were getting found out. We were getting figured out. And our elite talent in space, our read option runs on 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, we're starting to get stuffed. And all these passes to the sideline. Remember all that garbage that we got sick of at Ohio State?
That, bro, I hated that, dude.
We couldn't stand it, could we?
Here's the thing, man. You don't run that type of play on like 2nd and 8, bro. You run that on the goal line.
Yep.
Or it's like 4th and 1.
Yep. You just need. Yep. Yeah. No doubt, man. He always did it like an extension of the run game. And oh man.
Here's the thing, man. They kept that crap. I'm like, dude,
they kept it.
Dude, stop running these wide receiver bubble screens.
He did keep it.
That's just like
I didn't get nearly as frustrated when Day ran it though, because he ran it on the right downs. But Urban would always do it on like 3rd down at 8, and you're like, what the frick are we doing this for?
Here's the thing, man. He's probably thinking like they're not gonna expect this on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, he got a little. He tried to outthink the opponent, but
and
it didn't always work.
He outthought himself, man.
That's what he ended up doing.
Yeah, and then it's just like, honestly, dude. Here's the thing, man. All was well after they beat Michigan. We forgot all about it, but I didn't forget about those losses, those embarrassing losses that kept us out of the playoff, man. People can say what they want about Ryan Day, but at the end of the day, Day beats who he's supposed to be. And I get it, man. I don't, he was supposed to beat Michigan, but let's be honest, he has a Michigan problem. But
his first loss to an unranked opponent was against Michigan this past season. He was 47-0 against unranked opponents. Urban Meyer couldn't claim that.
Nah, man, because Urban Meyer lost to teams who we shouldn't have it kept on the playoffs. But here we come. He beats Michigan. Let's forget all about it. Let's go to our Cotton Bowl against USC or our Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame
Our
or
participation bowl.
our Rose Bowl against Washington.
Yeah, Washington and Utah.
Let's claim another Big Ten title. Let's forget all about the fact we got blown out by Iowa. We got blown out by Purdue. We got beat by a backup quarterback against Michigan State.
Yeah.
Man, it just got tiring, man. You know, a lot of Ohio State fans were like, "Man, Rob, you're crazy." But at the end of the day, dude, like I'm okay with Ryan Day as the head coach, even like
100%.
being 0-4 the last 4 against Michigan.
Someone posed this on another video that I was watching before I jumped on here. And I'm starting to come along to your philosophy, man. I'm starting to come around to it. I didn't think I would. Change comes slowly with me, admittedly. But his question he posed to another YouTuber, another Ohio State YouTuber, Buckeye Vinny. He posed, our Big Ten championships basically essentially meaningless now with the college football playoff going to expand again to possibly 14 or 16 teams. It's basically all about the national title now. Is it or is it not? And just the more I've thought about it, more I've reasoned with it. I mean, as much as I do love a Big Ten championship, like it doesn't compete to the national title. Like, I mean, it's a fun little thing to hang your hat on and say, oh, we had a good season, yada, yada, yada. But as it becomes more like the NFL, it is Super Bowl or bust, and it's national title or bust, and that's kind of the way it's getting. And I admit, I do hate that it is like that, but I'm accepting the changes that are coming, and winning a conference, it means jack now. It means jack now, basically.
Yeah, and you know what, dude, I noticed that because just like, dude, Penn State lost the Big Ten title.
Mm-hmm.
Texas lost the SEC title game.
Yeah.
Freaking SMU lost the ACC title game. They still got it, man. None of these teams got punished. Because if it was the 4 team, they would have been punished. They wouldn't have been in.
The season would have been done.
Their season, dude, Texas season would have definitely been done. Penn State season would have definitely been done.
Yep.
And because, dude, they won that Big Ten title game with 1 loss. Let's say they beat Oregon. Both Oregon and Penn State get in, dude.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case anymore. I'm glad you came around, man, because I'm like, dude, like we can't fret over some Big Ten title now. We can't fret over not beating Michigan every year. As long as Michigan, Ohio State meet, where it's okay, whoever loses, even though either team loses, they still get in the playoffs. I'm fine, man. Like they need to get rid of conference championship weekend. Other than a money grab and money for the Big Ten stuff, or the SEC or the ACC or the Big 12, it's a bunch of nothing, dude.
It's kind of meaningless when you got a much bigger prize waiting for you at the end of the college football playoffs. I mean, and let's be honest, man. This year, all the teams that won their conference title lost the first playoff game they played in.
Yeah, man.
Here's another question I have. I mean, does getting a bye hurt you? Because it certainly did this year. All 4 teams that had a bye lost.
Dude, I think that when they expanded again, they dude, don't get rid of conference championship weekend, and have the playoff starts then. Have a wild card round take place of championship weekend.
Oh wow, that would be outrageously awesome.
I mean, like
why not?
It's a no-brainer. I mean, look, college football, the NCAA, it's a front for athletes being paid now. It's no longer like, you know what I'm saying? It's not the NFLCAA.
It is. It really is.
That's what it is, man. So it's just like, and here's the other thing, man. You want to keep the traditions, keep the bowl games, but give the smaller schools a chance to take those places. But enough with this neutral site, man. Enough of these
Yeah.
trophies every single game.
And here's the other thing too, that that adds to the point you just made. Make these home playoff games. Forget the bowl games, because Ryan Day came out and there was an article on 11 Warriors that I read today that the bowl games aren't anything what they used to be. You get there the day before. It used to be a week before. You get to enjoy all these festivities, all these meals. You get to explore the town, get to do all these things, get all these trinkets, these trophies, and these, each, there's like the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. They'd hand out a PlayStation to all the teammates, all the players. Now Ryan Day was saying, he was kind of griping about it. He's like, dude, we get there like a day before. We didn't get nothing from the bowl games. Like, there's no point to coming here, because it's
money,
just
dude.
insane expense for all the players and all the players' families and friends. And we didn't get nothing from these bowl games. They didn't give us anything. So it's like, we might as well be playing these games in Columbus or in, Tallahassee or Knoxville or wherever these home, teams are residing in.
And that's what I was saying, man. Kind of like, how you had the home and away games. Have that throughout the whole playoffs. The first, how they had the home and away games, the first round of the playoffs. Have that throughout the whole entire playoffs, and dude, that would be sick, man. Could you imagine the SEC coming in the North like the end of January?
Those environments were electric. They were better than these monotonous. Even though Ohio State Texas game, like, the atmosphere was tense, because the game was tense. But it wasn't a loud stadium. Had that been in one of the home team stadiums, it would have been loud when the other team had the ball.
Yeah.
It'd be a totally different atmosphere, man, for sure.
I mean, man, I didn't know that they weren't getting there like how they usually would, like a week before, and be able to explore the towns and do all that. Because man, my nephew was on the Michigan team, and he would say like, yeah, man, we got one of the bowl games was in Florida. So he's like, yeah, we got to Florida, we got to go out into town, spend a week there, kind of, there's media and stuff, and now I didn't know that, man.
It's like, completely a stripped down experience, and there's no point. It's just a game now. That's all it is now.
All the players get free merch and stuff. I mean, right. But here's the thing, man. That type of thing, you could say that, but it also helps. I'm all about helping small businesses and, cities and stuff.
It's a good point too.
So, but you can do the same thing with, have those bowl games, but those who don't get in the playoffs, like, have them go to those bowl games, dude. Forget the Pac-12. Well, no, you don't have to. Like, you could still have that Pac-12. I mean, you could still have that tradition where an old Pac-12 team, man, I almost went back in time. We're an old Pac-12 team and a Big Ten team still playing in that Rose Bowl, dude.
Sure.
Like, you can still have those traditions, but not with the playoff teams, man.
Yeah, no, it really is. That's how it goes, man. I think that's a good suggestion. I don't think college football is a slow freaking sport to adapt. It really is. But I think that if they're going to expand, like we've been talking about this week, it needs to go to 16 teams, not 14 teams. I think make the jump to 16. That's what I would do anyway. Unless 14 with the wild card is a pretty decent idea as well. So, but I'd rather just get to 16 because we know it's going to get to 16 eventually anyway. So might as well just make the leap. Make the final leap, make the final step. And who knows if it's even going to stop at 16. That's what every other division plays at, 16-team playoffs. But maybe we'll go higher than that even in the future. Who knows how things are going to shake out.
I don't see it going higher than 16 teams, man. That would be absurd,
God, I hope
dude.
not.
That means the playoffs, dude.
I hope not.
Let's be honest, man. Basketball is a whole different sport than football, man. Like,
yeah.
You can play back-to-back games against in basketball, dude. Like, you can't do back-to-back in football, bro. Like,
not happening, not possible.
In the body, man.
Yeah,
like just not built for that.
Need a good week's rest.
Yeah, I don't I don't see it going past 6 teams, man. That
Okay,
would mean
good.
the playoff starts in like literally like
Week after the
December
regular
3rd,
season.
the week after regular season, man.
Yeah.
But and
It will be interesting to see how things transform and develop from here. But that was a discouraging thing to hear about the bowl games, man.
Yeah.
And if they're going to do it like that, you might as well be hosting at home stadiums, if you ask me.
So just got an idea. How would you feel since conferences are adding more teams? How would you feel about adding regular season games? Kind of like an NFL style, like you may play an opponent twice.
Oh wow.
Like you see what I'm saying? Like,
I
okay,
think I know what you mean.
the Lions play the Vikings,
Oh, okay.
Packers twice a year.
Okay, yeah, they play
Like
at each of their home stadiums.
from their the people from their division, the teams from their division, they play twice a year, and they play some once a year. How
Oh
would you
man.
feel about that, man? Like extending the regular season.
Probably initially kind of opposed to it, but like I said, slow to change, slow to adapt. I still like playing some of these garbage teams that we play. It'd be fun to play at Oregon and then host them later on, but yeah, I don't know. We're already gonna see some of that with the playoffs, as we saw. We played Oregon twice this year. Obviously, we would have potentially played Penn State twice had they won the conference. Would have played them in the Rose Bowl. That would have been strange, man. Ohio State, Penn State in the Rose Bowl. That would have been a weird game to have viewed, but it's probably going to happen at sometime in the future, potentially even this year. So I don't know. We'll have to flesh that out, that idea a little bit more, but probably
Dude,
initially opposed.
if you look at it, man, if these players want to get paid like pros, dude,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to really start moving that needle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Got to see the big
to a more,
matchups. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I want to see that, dude. That would be sick to have certain teams play twice a year, the regular
Dang,
season,
bro,
man.
that would be wild. Just
Yeah.
would you think that would be just totally scrapping non-conference opponents then, basically? Do you think?
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, just like, dude, there's like how many teams are in the Big 10? What is like the Big 20, the Big 18?
Big 18 right now.
Why not have like, dude, why not extend the regular season and play more than what, six? Who do they play? Six in conference opponents a year? 7?
Playing
8?
9 right now. 9
Yeah,
conference
9.
games right now.
Why not scrap the
Just
out
go
of conference
12
stuff and just play teams within your conference? There's enough teams to do that where you can extend the regular season.
There certainly are now. There certainly are now. I mean, it would have been a lot more appetizing to play 3 Big 10 teams than we did versus Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall this season. I'll jump on board with you on that for sure on that one.
I mean, like, we could have played USC, we could have played Washington, we could have played Illinois.
Yeah, could have been some juicier matchups.
There's enough teams, bro. I mean, if you think about it, man, there's 32 teams. What is there? 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
and there's enough to go around where you have a 16,
sure,
a 16 what was it? 17 now. A 17 game season.
17 game season. Yeah.
Some points twice, dude. There's like 18, 20 teams within the Big 10.
Yeah,
it's possible, man. It really is.
Man alive. Hey, in all honesty, I am for the more college football we get, the better. And if they're gonna get paid, might as well have a regular season like the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too opposed to that. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, that could be interesting.
That'd be really, really interesting, man.
Some juicy matchups every week, and then you get to see how coaches adjust to. I mean, you saw how Ohio State adjusted. Freaking Jordan James had 115 yards in the first game versus us, and then he had like 14 in the second matchup. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see
Dude,
that. But
You you know how in the playoffs, like literally like 4 running backs got knocked out of the game by Ohio State players?
every freaking team we faced.
Every game, man, like Tennessee, Oregon, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, it'd be hilarious, bro. You know how Zach Smith got that rumor spreading around about Ryan Day's brother?
Yeah.
You know what we should do, man? If we ever go like I don't know, like a live, like a different channel or whatever, or just like troll the comment section. Dude, we talk about like how Ohio State had an NIL bounty program put in place
Oh,
and how
jeez.
they
Bounty
paid
program on
players
running backs.
a bounty program on running backs, dude. They would eat that crap up, bro. I'm telling you right now, they would.
They really would. That's true facts. That's true facts. All right. Well, before we get too off the deep end here, maybe we should wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, shoot, dude. All right, brother.
Good stuff. We'll try this again some other time. You have a good night. Go Bucks and God bless. We'll see you all on the next one.
OH.
I-O.